Are you a beginner in coding and want to avoid common mistakes? Then this video is for you. We know that starting your journey into the world of coding can be thrilling, yet a bit daunting. There's so much to learn, so many languages to master, and a myriad of errors that can occur. It's a journey of discovery, filled with high highs and perhaps some low lows. But fear not, we're here to help you navigate through this exciting new world. This video will introduce you to the 5 most common mistakes that beginners often make while coding. Understanding these pitfalls is crucial as it helps you avoid them, improving your coding efficiency and proficiency. So if you're ready to take your coding journey to the next level, then sit back, relax, and let's delve into the fascinating world of coding. Let's dive into the 5 most common mistakes beginners make while coding. The first mistake is not planning before coding. Imagine this, you're about to embark on a road trip. You don't know where you're going, how to get there, or what you'll need for the journey. Sounds chaotic, right? Well, that's what it's like when you start coding without a plan. Planning before coding, or pre-coding as it's often referred to, is the process of understanding the problem you're trying to solve and designing a roadmap of how you're going to solve it. It's like creating a blueprint before building a house. This process may include outlining the program's structure, identifying the necessary functions and variables, or even scribbling down some pseudocode. You might be thinking, but why spend time planning when I can just start coding? The answer is simple. Planning helps you anticipate potential challenges, streamline your code, and ultimately, save time. It's like laying out your clothes the night before a big day. It might take a few extra minutes, but it saves you stress and time in the morning. Without a plan, you may find yourself writing redundant code, missing critical components, or even getting lost in your own code. It's akin to trying to bake a cake without a recipe. Sure, you might end up with something edible, but it's likely to take longer, be more stressful, and the result may not be what you intended. Moreover, planning can help you communicate your ideas more effectively. If you're working on a team, a clear plan can ensure everyone is on the same page. It's like having a game plan in a sport. Everyone knows their role and how their actions contribute to the overall goal. But here's the kicker. Planning is not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process that evolves as you delve deeper into the problem and uncover new insights. It's like navigating a maze. You adjust your route as you encounter dead ends or find shortcuts. Remember, a stitch in time saves 9. Always plan before you start coding. The second mistake is ignoring error messages. This is a pitfall many aspiring programmers fall into. Error messages aren't just a sign that something has gone wrong. They're opportunities for learning and growth, a beacon guiding you towards the root of the problem. They are your secret allies in the coding world, not your enemies. Picture this. You're writing a program, and everything seems to be going smoothly. Suddenly, an error message pops up. It's easy to feel a pang of frustration, perhaps even a desire to ignore it and move on. But resist that temptation. These messages are not arbitrary roadblocks to your progress. They're signals that something in your code needs attention. Here's why understanding error messages is crucial. They offer valuable insights into what's going wrong in your code. They can tell you where the problem occurred, what type of problem it is, and sometimes even how to fix it. By ignoring these messages, you're essentially turning a blind eye to potential issues. Consider a scenario where you ignore an error message thinking it's insignificant, and you move on. Over time, this minor problem could snowball into a larger one. It could cause your program to behave unexpectedly, or worse, crash entirely. Ignoring error messages is like ignoring a small leak in a boat. It might not sink immediately, but given enough time, it could lead to a disaster. So the next time you come across an error message, don't just dismiss it. Take a moment to understand what it's trying to tell you. Use it as a tool to debug your code and make it better. There's a wealth of knowledge to be gained from these messages. They're an integral part of the learning process. Remember, coding isn't just about writing lines of code, it's about problem solving, and error messages are a key part of that process. So embrace them, learn from them, and use them to your advantage. Error messages are your friends, not your enemies. They help you improve your code. The third mistake is overcomplicating solutions. Now, this is a common pitfall that many beginners fall into. They think that the more complex their code is, the more advanced or sophisticated they appear. But what's truly sophisticated is the ability to take a complex problem and solve it with simple, clean code. You see, overcomplication can be the enemy of good coding. Imagine going through a maze with twists and turns at every corner when there's a straight path to the finish line. That's what overcomplicated code is like. It's difficult to navigate, hard to understand, and a nightmare to maintain. Overcomplicating solutions not only makes your code harder to read, but also increases the likelihood of errors. It's like adding unnecessary hurdles in your path that you'll eventually need to jump over. The more complex your code, the more places there are for bugs to hide, and the harder it becomes to find and fix those bugs. But how do we avoid overcomplicating solutions? Well, it's all about embracing simplicity. Remember, the goal of coding is not to show off your ability to write intricate, convoluted code. It's to solve problems in the most efficient and effective way possible. Keep your code clean and concise. Break down complex tasks into simpler, more manageable parts. Use functions to avoid repetitive code. And don't be afraid to use libraries or built-in functions. They're there to make your life easier, so take advantage of them. Another key point is to always plan your code before you start typing. Understand the problem you're trying to solve, and think about the most straightforward way to solve it. This can save you a lot of time and headaches down the line. In the end, it's all about striking a balance between simplicity and functionality. Your code should be as simple as it can be, but not simpler. It should do what it needs to do, and do it well. So, the next time you find yourself writing a complex piece of code, ask yourself, is there a simpler way to do this? More often than not, you'll find that there is. Keep it simple. It makes your code easier to read, understand, and maintain. The fourth mistake is not testing your code. You've probably heard this old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, in the world of coding, this saying takes on a whole new meaning. It's not just about fixing what's broken, it's about making sure things aren't broken in the first place. And that's where testing comes into the picture. Testing your code is like giving it a health checkup. It's a way to ensure that everything is working as it should. Without testing, you're essentially flying blind, hoping that your code does exactly what it's supposed to do without any hiccups. So what happens when you don't test your code? Firstly, bugs. Those pesky little errors that creep into your code and wreak havoc. By not testing, you're giving these bugs free rein to multiply and grow. And the longer they go undetected, the harder they are to squash. Secondly, poor code quality. Without testing, it's hard to know whether your code is efficient, reliable, and well-structured. Testing helps you to spot areas of your code that could be improved or optimized. Finally, a lack of confidence in your code. If you're not testing, how can you be confident that your code will perform as expected under different conditions? Testing allows you to validate your code's functionality and gives you peace of mind. But how frequently should you test? Well, the answer is simple, as often as possible. Regular testing throughout the development process can help you catch issues early when they're easier to fix. It's far better to catch a bug in the early stages of development than to discover it after your code has been deployed. In summary, testing is not just a nice-to-have, it's a must-have. It's a vital part of the coding process that ensures your code is robust, reliable, and ready to face the world. So next time you're coding, remember, test early, test often. Testing is a vital part of coding, make it a habit. The fifth and final mistake is not seeking help when stuck. It's a common misconception that asking for help is a sign of weakness or incompetence, but let me tell you, it's not. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Seeking help when you're stuck is a sure sign of a growth mindset, a trait that's highly valued in the world of programming. Programming, like any other skill, is a constant journey of learning. There's always something new to learn, some problem that needs a different approach, some code that can be optimized, and sometimes we hit a roadblock, we find ourselves stuck, unsure of how to move forward. That's when it's important to seek help. Think about it. Would you rather spend hours, maybe even days, trying to solve a problem on your own? Or would you reach out to someone who's already been there and done that? The latter not only saves time but also allows you to learn from the experience of others. It's like getting a sneak peek into their thought process, their approach to problem solving. And where can you seek this help? Well, there are plenty of resources available. There are online forums like Stack Overflow where developers from around the world come together to help each other out. There are countless tutorials and guides available on the internet. And then, there are coding boot camps, mentorship programs, and even your colleagues or classmates who can provide valuable insights and guidance. But remember, seeking help is not about getting someone else to do your work. It's about understanding where you're stuck and learning how to navigate your way out. It's about asking the right questions and being open to feedback. It's about being persistent, patient, and proactive in your learning journey. So the next time you find yourself stuck on a coding problem, don't be disheartened. Don't see it as a failure. Instead, see it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become a better programmer. And don't hesitate to ask for help. After all, even the most experienced developers were once beginners who sought help from others. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's a great way to learn and grow as a developer. To summarize, the 5 common mistakes beginners make while coding are not planning before coding, ignoring error messages, overcomplicating solutions, not testing code, and not seeking help when stuck. Let's take a quick step back and remember that coding is an art, a craft that requires careful planning and execution. Jumping straight into writing code without a clear roadmap is like venturing into a dense forest without a compass. So remember, before you start typing away, take a deep breath, understand the problem you're trying to solve, and plan your approach. Next, we have the tendency to ignore or misinterpret error messages. Error messages are like signposts that guide us towards resolving issues in our code. They are not meant to be feared or ignored, but rather understood and acted upon. Then we have the habit of overcomplicating solutions. The beauty of coding lies in its simplicity. Using complex logic or unnecessary features can make your code confusing and difficult to maintain. Remember, the best code is often the simplest one. The 4th common mistake is not testing code. This is akin to constructing a building without checking the integrity of its foundation. Thoroughly testing your code not only helps identify potential issues but also ensures that your code behaves as expected. Lastly, not seeking help when stuck can turn a molehill into a mountain. The coding community is vast, and there are numerous resources available to help you out. Remember, every programmer, from beginners to experts, encounters difficulties. Don't hesitate to ask for help or guidance. By avoiding these mistakes, you can become a more proficient programmer. Remember, the journey of coding is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about continuous learning and improvement. So, keep coding, keep learning, and most importantly, keep enjoying the process. Don't forget what you've learned today. These 5 common coding mistakes are more than just errors. They're opportunities for growth and improvement. Remember, every bug you squash, every error message you decode, every overly complex solution you simplify brings you one step closer to becoming a proficient programmer. It's essential to take these lessons to heart and apply them in your everyday coding practice. Plan before you code, pay heed to those error messages, keep your solutions simple and understandable, test your code rigorously, and don't hesitate to ask for help when you're stuck. And remember, becoming a proficient programmer isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about continuous learning and improvement. And we're here to guide you every step of the way, so keep coding, keep learning, and keep improving. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Happy coding!